Hi, and welcome to First Chapter Friday. Today we are going to be reading Cal and the Amazing Anti-Gravity Machine by Richard Hamilton and illustrated by Sam Hearn. This book I've never seen. I just pulled it right out of the shelf, so we'll see how we do. I'm going to open this one up, and we are off on Chapter 1. I'm going to make sure that this is focused. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, hold on. Go back. Beep, beep. I don't know if that did anything. Okay. Let's make sure that we're all... There we go. I don't know if that really helped, but whatever. Here we go. Chapter 1. Early one summer morning, as the sun slanted across the roofs of a little town, picking out steeples and chimneys and TV antennas, and glinting off of blue-green wings of a flock of starlings gathered in the park, there was a sudden cacophonous, ear-splitting, building-shaking, teeth-shattering noise. Chang, 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 yeesh! The residents of Gribbins Road groaned and pulled the covers over their heads. "Sunday morning!" bellowed the incredulous Mr. Barraclough. Beneath 2 pillows and a comforter. "It's 6 o'clock!" shrieked a tearful Mrs. Barraclough into her mattress. This was their new house. They had been there for only 2 months, and they had been woken up in the middle of the night, or in the early morning, 7 times. Their son, Cal, a quiet boy of 10, was in a room at the back of the house. He got out of bed and leaned out of his window. At the back of a neighboring house, in a yard full of scrap metal, a man was operating a large piece of machinery. Smoke billowed from one of the ends. Sparks fired into the air from the other, from the other, and ribbons of shiny silver spiraled out of the side. Cal wanted to shout at the man, but what was the point? A tidal wave of sound was filling the air. The man looked like a giant fly. He was tall and lanky and wore oval-shaped goggles. He was feeding a long metal pole into a red mouth of a machine. His name was Frout, Mr. Frout. He had long gray hair tied in a ponytail, and an oddly shaped beard that grew in a white wisp from his chin, like a dollop of Mr. Whippy ice cream. He wore blue overalls, red suspenders, and strong brown boots. So there he is right there. "Mr. Frout," Cal said to himself, "some of us are trying to sleep." His voice went up at the end as if he said, "Didn't you know?" His mother joined him, only she took more of a robust approach. "Be quiet, you horrible, inconsiderate, thoughtless, idiotic old caveman!" she screeched and slammed the window. "Caveman!" Cal looked at his mother. Miss Barraclough's eyes were bloodshot and blazing. Her unbrushed red hair stood up on one side like a flaming bush. She closed her eyes and breathed in deeply. "I'm sorry, darling," she said loud to Cal. "I feel better for shouting, even if the selfish old buzzard can't hear me. Why, oh, why did we move here?" she groaned. "What's he doing?" Cal asked, looking across Mr. Frout's yard. His mother held up her arms and shrugged. "I have no idea. The man is a menace. Just look at his yard. It's like living next to a shipyard. Mad metal monster terrorizes neat neighborhood." Cal's mother worked as a copy editor in a local magazine. She wrote headlines. Often she spoke in them too. "Why can't he wait until a decent hour?" his mother interrupted. It is so inconsiderate. I shall talk to the council. I will raise it with a residents' committee. I shall contact the local news. Anything to stop the torment. Chang, 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 chang. Yeek! Spluttered the machine in Frout's yard. There was a whining noise from under Cal's bed. It was his dog, Frankie. He held his paws over his ears. "This is driving me crazy," sang the dog. Cal understood him, but his mother didn't. "It's driving us all crazy, Frankie," Cal told him. "Poor little thing," Mrs. Barraclough sympathized. "You two are suffering." She bent over and peered under the bed. "And how did you get there, you naughty boy? Haven't I told you, Cal, the dog shouldn't spend the night in your bed? It's unhealthy." "He's not in my bed," objected Cal. "The dog has a basket in the kitchen. The kitchen door was shut," said his mother. "Maybe he let himself out." "Super Pooch opened doors with paws." "Come on." "The dog has a name," complained the dog in his gruff, growling sort of way. "He's definitely unhappy," said Mrs. Barraclough, frowning. "Maybe I should videotape him and take it as evidence to the newsroom. Dog nutty from noise. Oh boy." She held her head as if she were about to fall apart and strode out of the room. Cal looked back at Frout. He was feeding more metal into his machine. His features locked in the grimace of effort. The iron pole looked heavy. Suddenly there was a change to the rhythm of the noise, a spluttering and a hiccuping of the machine, and to the intense relief of everyone on Gribbon's Road, the infernal thing chugged, swallowed, and stopped. Dead silence. Beautiful, blissful, roaring, soaring silence returned. The residents of Gribbon's Road sank back into their pillows and comforters and breathed deeply again, groping towards lost slumber, trying to recapture escaping dreams as bird songs twittered again in the summer trees. But Cal and Frankie were up. They had things to do. So, that is Cal and the Amazing Anti-Gravity Machine. So it sounds like maybe there was something that they were working on next door. But if you are interested in this book, feel free to come by the library and grab it. It's called Cal and the Amazing Anti-Gravity Machine. And I will be here if you need any help. Well, have a good rest of your week. Thanks. See you next week.